Good afternoon, everyone. Do not adjust your sets. You probably, would have had to have adjusted your set considerably more after 18 minutes when Norwich were 2-0 up. But there we go. I'm in a slightly different place because as I was messaged by Alex Levy, he messaged me months ago saying, please do your video verdict from my seat. Now, I don't actually aim to make this a regular occurrence, but Alex, I trust this is your seat. There we go. So here I am. You got decent view of the ground, I would say. Wouldn't have had a great view of the 2 goals Norwich scored, which were up that end, and in fact, likewise Richarlison's goal in the second half. By the way, I got stick for using these after the West Ham game, which seemed a bit harsh, but maybe I should invest in some earpods. Do let me know if you think they would be a good idea. So yes, well, Norwich City have won a game of football in the Premier League, and they've scored in a game of football in the Premier League for the first time since November. They've done so for the first time, scoring this is, against 11 men since Dean Smith's first game in charge, which was Southampton, which was the last time Norwich won. So quite the day. I probably should take it in 2 parts, really. We've got the reaction for and analysis of today as a one game, and then maybe the kind of bigger picturesque. But in terms of today, I think we saw much more of what we saw from Dean Smith's Norwich in his first 2 games in charge. I thought defensively they put in a real shift. I thought attacking-wise they looked bright, and I think that has actually carried on from the West Ham game, where again, although they didn't create any major chances, you could just see they looked a bit more with it in the final third to at least offer a bit more of a threat. I know that probably the formation, the 4-4-2, has come through necessity, but actually there's quite a nice balance to it, and it's allowing Idah to carry some of the real attacking responsibility, but also allowing Teemu Pukki to also do that, but it's freeing him to maybe come and link the play whilst not leaving, and allowing the attacking threat to come from someone else rather than just himself. So between the 2 of them as a pair, they're actually working the space quite well. And Adam quite clearly offers the ability to hold the ball up, to turn and to run and to work channels. It is like a switch has gone off with Idah. That's now 2 games where he's looked lively, involved, physical, strong, and carried a bit of threat. So that is really promising. Long may that continue, because we've been waiting for it. And today, if he wanted a spark, he got it, because he got his first Premier League goal. It was pretty well taken. It was a good bit of movement from him. The ball played in from Brandon Williams was useful. This was to make it 2-0. And it was a good prodded finish just before Jordan Pickford came out to him. Norwich had scored actually about 90 seconds before that. Josh Sargent providing a really good low cross that Michael Keane turned into his own net with Idah on his shoulder. So he would have got there had he not cut it out. But obviously, Keane was trying to cut the ball out, not prod it beyond his own goalkeeper. Adam probably should have had a second down here with a woeful back pass from Mikalenko, I think it was, on his debut. But Pickford came out quite well. Adam probably should have taken it first time, but didn't. And we were, of course, worried if that was going to be an issue when Richarlison on 60 minutes, after a bit of an improvement after the break, and Rafa Benitez brought on Yerry Mina as centre-back, moved Ben Godfrey out to right-back, and also Richarlison. 2 players have been out for a little bit, 2 big players for Everton, 2 players that would start normally. And I thought Everton looked a far, far more threatening proposition with Richarlison on the pitch. Brilliant overhead kick, half cleared by Tim Krul. I kind of thought that Idah, if he just gets really close to Richarlison, then he probably gets what I would call Cameron Jerome foul, where he just either puts him off or is in the way and it's a foul. And instead, he kind of let Richarlison complete a really wonderful finish. And then you wonder, don't you? You wonder if Norwich could stick it out. But they did stick it out, which was impressive, and they defended really well, and they had to do it against injuries mounting. Now, Max Aaron's got a smack on his backside, which I think probably left him with a dead glute, would probably be the technical term. He also got a whack on his ankle. Now, when he came out of full time, he was on 2 crutches and a protective boot. I have just seen him walk off down the side, no protective boot and no crutches, just walking a bit gingerly. So that is a really promising sign. And in fairness, Dean Smith did say that he hopes Max won't be too bad. So that would be good. Brandon Williams went off with cramp. Again, they're hoping that's not going to be too bad. The one maybe, Grant Hanley's still managing his shoulder, but he got through the 90 minutes. And the one maybe where there's a bit of sweating going on is Tim Krul, who seemed to land awkwardly on his shoulder quite late on. He stayed down, which you'd expect him to late on when you're 2-1 up and trying to wind down time. A lot of time, as it happened. Only Norwich could try and game manage in the Premier League and end up having to defend for 7 minutes. Well, in fact, it was 10 minutes by the end of it. 7 minutes of added time was ridiculous. So there may be a bit of concern over Tim's shoulder. I think they will hope it settles down because Norwich got a huge game coming up against Watford. Billy Gilmore was here to watch proceedings. Saw him in the tunnel just afterwards. So he's back in rehab here rather than at Chelsea from Monday, hopefully 2 to 3 weeks away, which I think will probably mean a possibility of coming back for the FA Cup game at Wolves. Similar situation for Matthias Norman, all being well, and also a similar situation for someone, I think Lucas Rupp is about on that time scale. Kenny McLean missed today because he is isolating. So that was the word Dean Smith used. So I think we all know what we associate with isolating. So, but that's good that it's not anything particularly bad, and hopefully he will be back available soon. So a few midfield bodies coming back. But I would say I thought Jakob Sorensen in midfield today, alongside PLS Mlu, were both pretty good and combative, and I thought Jakob played pretty well. In fact, it was as good as I've seen him play in that midfield, given the quality of opposition. Obviously, there will be a lot about Everton in the aftermath of this. I have no idea if Rafa Benitez will still be in charge come the end of today, the end of the weekend. I don't know. I've watched his Zoom press conference after this game. It looked like a I'm being sacked press conference, but who knows? Everton fans are clearly absolutely livid at what's going on. Not just a Rafa Benitez, that's to be said. And they weren't great. But I'm always aware of there being it takes 2 teams to tango in any game. On the evidence of today, though, Norwich have played in a way that they haven't done very often. So although people are looking at it and go, gosh, Everton can't even beat Norwich, this Norwich performance was also better than a lot. Norwich have had a say in this against Everton. They probably won't get much credit for it, but Norwich were improved. They did things that they did well early on in Dean Smith's reign when everyone was fit and buzzing. And Dean Smith said it actually, that he kind of told the players, look, it's not exactly must-win time, but it is now about going out and actions and being proactive, making it happen, because there's nothing else to be said really now. It's just got to be done. And I thought Norwich played with that attitude. I thought they were all excellent. I thought Josh Sargent, he's made a goal and he's put in a real shift. I wouldn't want to ask anything more from him. I thought he was outstanding. And in a way, although he's obviously contributed, having Adam Idah and Pukki there, both offering a goal threat, allows Josh to be strong, physical, to get Norwich up the pitch, but maybe less reliant on him being the one getting into those goal-scoring opportunities. That said, without actually that bit of pressure, he probably looked a bit freer when he did get the odd opportunity to shoot himself. So that was promising. I thought even though Max and Brandon went off, Dimian Nulis put in a wonderful block, really important block as soon as he came on. Sam Byram again looks like he's getting a bit up to speed, better. It's going to take a while because he's been out for a while. So all positivity all over, and I think Milot Rashica hit the post quite late on as well, and Norwich look a much more dynamic side when he's in the pitch. Absolutely. So that is all grand in terms of today. And there are now sort of 2 game trends, I would say, such as Adam's performance. Grant Hanley being back in the defensive line is certainly helping, and he looks pretty sharp. But Norwich have got a huge amount of work to do. The table obviously looks better. They've scored a few goals. That's great. It helps that Newcastle didn't win at home to Watford. There's lots. It was a good day today. we are a long way from it being a much better position for Norwich, but they do have an incredibly good opportunity coming up on Friday to really get people believing. Because if Norwich can go to Watford and win that game, and I don't even think a draw is necessarily enough, they certainly cannot lose. A draw would be all right. To go and win 2 victories back to back, you've then won 4 games this season, 5 more, and you might be starting to get close to a position where you are capable of securing survival. Because as far as I'm concerned, Norwich win 9 games, they're not going to be far off this season. So, as I kind of tweeted, they've got a spark. No one can complain, we just need a spark to get going. They've had that. Adam Idah's had it. The team have had it. What can you go and follow it up with? That's all I've got. I can't answer that question. They'll answer it. Todd Cantwell was back on the bench, which is great, because he's obviously fit and he had a smile on his face on the pitch at full time, which is good. Everyone did, as you'd expect. It's a big relieving moment. Let's go build on it. I think that's all I've got. A nice reception for Ben Godfrey on his return to Carrow Road. And he showed some nice moments. It's nice to see him back. But everyone's happy because of how Norwich have done today. And long may it continue. I'm going to finish by sitting in Alex's seat. Alex, your view is lovely of Carrow Road. I would have enjoyed watching the game from here. As it happened, I enjoyed watching the game for the press box anyway. Have a lovely week. There is no game this midweek. It is Friday at Watford. What a time to be alive. On the Ball podcast will be on Monday. I mean, we will be giddy at the fact that Norwich have won a game. And yeah, there's nothing to add about January because nothing doing in January. So there we go. I hope you're well. I'll remove the score as much as I was enjoying it. Feel free to comment and question and put anything you want. I'll have a flick through them all. And as I said, podcast live on Monday night. And keep an eye on The Athletic over the course of the week for more fun and games. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend and enjoy the winning feeling because, it's been a while. Hopefully the next one won't be quite as much of a while. Take care of yourselves.